This was our most ambitious project yet. In fact, we put in months of research, dozens of revisions and thousands of dollars into creating the perfect story for you today. We are so proud of this story that if you stick around to the end, we'll even show you how you can make one yourself. So get ready because this story has everything: fairies, epic battles, even some heart-wrenching moments you won't forget. Now I know what you're thinking. Are fairies real? Well, maybe. Some believe that they are spiritual beings that live in nature and bring magic and wonder to those who believe. Others believe that fairies are simply a product of our imagination. But whether or not fairies are real, one thing is certain: they have captured the human imagination for centuries. From Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream to J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, fairies have enchanted us with their beauty and wonder. And now it's time for a new adventure. Welcome to a world where fairies are real and they need your help. When I woke up covered in pollen and inside a Hawaiian hibiscus, I knew this wasn't a dream. Turns out this flower was the local Airbnb for fairies who got drunk at the weekly Party Hoppers convention. My guide, Nyakyusa Sidhe, had a Scottish accent, but dressed like an Egyptian queen with a gold scarab belt. She also had a pet ladybug named TikTok because she's addicted to drama. Welcome to Fairy University, aka Fairy U. Here's how it works. You take an aptitude test to see which fairy job you're suited for. Then you complete 3 trials. Pass with flying colors and you graduate. Fail and you become a member of the local trash patrol, basically janitors of the forest. First up, I learned about the forest's rules. Like, seriously, never say thank you to an Irish fairy. Apparently it's rude. Instead, you gotta say, I owe you an acorn. Got it. Next, I met my first fellow students, 2 pixies whose butts were made of leaves. They warned me about the dreaded prankster zones. Like this one where Mexican Duendes had booby-trapped a bridge with invisible whoopee cushions. They cackled as I landed flat on my face. Ouch. For my first trial, I was tasked with collecting pollen from bluebells for some fairy espresso. But I was a klutz. I sneezed and blew the queen's wig into a spider's web. Spiders love fairy hair because it makes them feel rich. So the queen was less than pleased. As punishment, I had to wear a hat made of live bees for an hour. Talk about a buzzkill. Next, I had to grant a wish. My client was a mermaid fairy from France who wanted less boring legs. So I gave her goat hooves. She screamed in Breton, which apparently means, I look fabulous. So mission accomplished. But this meant I failed my second trial. Great. I had one last chance to pass Fairy U. The final test, licking the rainbow to check for poison. The logic: if your tongue turns green, you're good to go. If it stays white, you're doomed. Well, my tongue turned plaid, so I guess I failed that too. So I officially became part of the trash patrol. Good job, sweetie. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, why didn't he just use his phone to fix all these problems? It's not that easy. See, the fairies completely forgot about technology when they signed up for Fairy U. That's right. These fairies are off the grid. No phones, no internet, no distractions. They want to focus on themselves and their magical abilities. And let's face it, who doesn't love a fairy that takes time for self-care? But all this fairy pampering comes at a price. You see, when the fairies disconnect from the outside world, they miss out on important updates, like when humans started littering everywhere. That's why when I arrived at Fairy U, I found a mountain of trash, including a cursed Coca-Cola can. Don't ask me how they managed to keep it fizzy for decades. All I know is that it oozed glitter lava that sang K-pop songs. So gross. But don't worry, I didn't waste any time on my first day of trash patrol. I fed the can to a Hungarian Tizolto fairy. They literally eat pollution for breakfast. Speaking of breakfast, do you ever wonder what fairies eat? Well, I've got the scoop. They're big on healthy snacks like dandelion fluff smoothies, spiderweb omelets, and dewdrop fraps. But if they're feeling fancy, they might dig into some pixie dust truffles or goblin sausage rolls. And don't even get me started on the legendary unicorn fruit salad. It's basically the Beyoncé of fairy cuisine. Everyone wants a slice, but only a few lucky fairies get to enjoy it. I'm still waiting for my invite. After disposing of the can, I discovered a plastic bag ghost haunting the forest. Turns out it was actually a Korean Guishin ghost who just wanted a hug. So I gave him one. Then the fairies showed him how to knit sweaters from spider silk. He loved it. That's right. These fairies aren't just about partying and eating magical snacks. They're also big on recycling. In fact, they turn everything into something new. Old socks become clouds, bottle caps become toadstools, and even banana peels become, well, you'll see next week. And hey, if you're a fan of all things fairy, don't forget to check out our other videos. We've got everything from fairy pranks to fairy fashion faux pas. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on next week's episode. Who knows what kind of magical mishaps we'll get up to then. Speaking of magic, the best was yet to come. The annual fairy party. Now, I thought I'd seen it all after attending Coachella, Burning Man, and a My Chemical Romance reunion tour, but this was on another level. First up, the Yōkai talent show. A Japanese kitsune did card tricks with real stolen credit cards. Very meta. And then an Egyptian genie granted wishes, but not before saying, "You already know the catch." Things got weird when a group of fairies from Scandinavia performed a death metal song called Hail Satan. It was catchy, but not as viral as the moment when a kitsune used telekinesis to make a human scream in pain. This yokai knew its audience. We all laughed, gasped, and clapped at the same time. It was beautiful. Then came the fairy food fight. The weapon of choice, exploding dandelions. These tiny yellow flowers pack a punch and they hit me so hard I temporarily spoke Welsh. What? Then I accidentally activated a sleeping curse on a boggart, turning it into a life-size teddy bear. Oops. Finally, the Goblin DJ battle. Song 1, Never Gonna Give You Up, by Rick Astley. Classic Rick roll. The whole forest twerking. But Song 2 was an original track called Wings Up, Humans Down, by Fairy Spotify's hottest DJ, DJ Grimm. It's now charting at #1 on Fairy charts. It was amazing to experience all these different cultures at once, but I couldn't help but feeling a little homesick. Where were my fellow nerds? Where was my dry, stale pizza? And most importantly, where was my Wi-Fi? Turns out I didn't have to miss my favorite show, Hoarders, because fairies use a special type of magic called borrowed connection. Essentially, they pinch a bit of your Wi-Fi whenever they cast a spell. So if you notice your internet's a little spotty lately, you know who to blame. Wink, wink. But all good things must come to an end. And before I left the forest, Irish Sidhe gave me a very serious warning. She showed me a dying fairy. Her wings were crumbling like styrofoam. Apparently, a nearby factory was polluting the air, causing the fairy's magic to weaken. They call it acid jazz. We call it death. So I was honored when she gifted me a fairy emergency kit. A Celtic bell to scare off loggers, a Japanese omamori charm that glows near pollution, and a Navajo corn pollen pouch for fast wishes. Before I knew it, I was back in my world, sticky with pollen, inside a Hawaiian hibiscus. And as I watched the sunrise over the ocean, I knew I wouldn't forget my time at Fairy U anytime soon. In fact, if you plant this seed, you can join us. It's free. Just tag #FairyArmy. Let's trend saving them. So what do you think? Are fairies real? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got all kinds of adventures planned for you next week. Thanks for watching.